Hello everyone, welcome you all again to the channel Technology Tutorial. Today I'm going to start another unit from your syllabus, computer science. So I'm going to start this unit 3. We have already completed this unit 1, computational thinking and programming 2. This unit already we have finished. So after that, computer network is one theory chapter is there. So before starting this, we are going to discuss this database management. Okay, so that means I'm going to start unit 3 now. So go to the unit 3. So here in unit 3, database management is there. So here database concept is there, introduction to database concepts and its need, relational data model, so degree cardinality, what about that, structure, query language, SQL, so data types, SQL commands. So all these things are there. Already we have discussed these things in class 11. Okay, so now again I am going to review this chapter. So for this I have prepared one PPT for you. So according to the PPT, today we are going to discuss. So now see, according to the topic wise, I have prepared this PPT. So in this PPT you will get everything. So practically you can do at your system. Okay, all the new functions what you will get, everything already we have done in class 11. So you can practice from here. So introduction to the database. So what about the database already you know. Okay, so now database is a very large integrated collection of data. Okay, a database is the collection of data usually stored in electronic form. A database is typically designed so that it is easy to store and access information. Okay, so database management system, about the DBMS. So what about the DBMS? Is a software package designed to store and manage database. For examples of database applications like banking application is there for all transactions, airlines and universities, so registration grades like that. Okay, so these are some DBMSs are there. So for to maintain this DBMS, database management system, we can use some DBMS softwares. So different DBMS softwares are there. Already we have used MySQL in class 11. Okay, so now why database use? Why we use a database? Databases can store very large number of record efficiently. Okay, they take up little space. Okay, it is very quick and easy to find information. It is easy to add new data and to edit or delete old data. Okay, data can be searched easily, data can be stored easily, data can be imported into another application. For example, a mail merge letter to a customer saying that an moat test is due. So mail merge already you have done before. Okay, so more than one person can access the same database at the same time, multi-access, and the security may be better than in paper files. Okay, these are the advantages. This is because we are going to use this database. Okay, so after that, see what is relational model. Relational data model represent the database as a collection of relations. A relation is nothing but a table of values. Every row in the table represents a collection of related data values. These rows in the table denote a real world entity or relationship. The table name and column names are helpful to interpret the meaning of values in each row. The data and data represented as a set of relation. In the relational model, data are stored as tables. Okay, relational model means you can say entire table which consists of attributes, entities, tuples, degrees, everything. So what about that? All these things we will discuss now. So see, inside relational model what you will get, actually see, this is a pictorial we're going to show you. So what about the primary key, domain, what and tuples, rows, cardinality, degree, column, what about that? Everything. Okay, so all the definitions I have given in the next slides. Now see, domain. A domain is a original set of atomic values used to model data. Okay, by atomic value we mean that each value in the domain is indivisible as far as the relation model is concerned. For example, the domain of marital status has a set of possibilities: married, single, and divorced. So that means one attribute that we have designed for marital status in a table. So in that marital status, it will give only the status of marital. That means it may be returned married, single, or divorced. The domain of shift has the set of all possible days. Suppose one domain is there, one attribute is there where we are going to store the possible days only. It will return only the days. That is, you can say as domain. A domain of salary is the set of all the floating point numbers greater than 0 and less than 2 lakhs. So that is a domain. The domain of first name is the set of character string that represents names of people. That means the attributes which can give give some result. Suppose name, that means it will display, it will return only the names. That is a domain, you can say. Suppose salary, one field is there, it will return only the salaries. That is a domain. After that, see relation. Relation is nothing but that is a number of rows and columns, you can say. A relation, also known as a table or file. That means rows and columns combination is a table. So now is a subject of a Cartesian product of the list of domain characterized by a name, and written a table. And within a table, each row represents a group of related data values. A row or record is known as tuples. So what about tuple? What about degree? We will discuss later. So relation means you have to know that it is a table. It is a combination of rows and columns. So now about tuples. See, it is nothing but a single row of a table which contains a single record. That is a tuple. So entire row you can say as a tuple. Okay. So now after that, attribute is there. Attribute means each column of a table. Attributes are the properties which define a relation. For example, student roll number is a attribute, name is a attribute. That means the columns of a table you can say as attribute. Okay. After the degree has come, the total number of attributes which in the relation is called the degree of a relation. That means all the columns you can say as together degree. Cardinality, total number of rows present in a table you can say as cardinality. Okay. So what about degree and what about cardinality, you can see from here. And the key is also there. A DBMS key is an attribute or set of an attribute which help you to identify a row tuple in relation. Okay. So different keys are there, like primary key, alternate key, candidate keys are there. So we will discuss later. So which can uniquely identify record. Okay. So now see, what about the primary key? A primary key is a column or group of column in a table that uniquely identify every row in the table. That means which can uniquely identify record. Suppose see in a class, so many students are there. So there may be same names students. Multiple students are there with same name. Suppose 2 or 3 students are there in the same class with same name, but their roll numbers would different. Okay. So that roll number is the primary key. You can say that field you can take as the primary key field. Okay. So now see rules for defining primary key. 2 rows cannot have the same primary key values. That means you cannot enter duplicate values in 2 different rows. It must be unique. It must for every row to have a primary key value. That means it cannot be null. Okay, the primary key field cannot be null. You have to enter at least one value. Okay, the value in a primary key column can never be modified or updated if any foreign key refers to that primary key. Okay, if you are using the primary key, that primary key field in another table, that is known as foreign key, already you know. So if you are using that technique, that means you are using that primary key in another table as foreign key, then you cannot edit or modify the primary key value. These are the rules of primary key. After that, candidate key is there. Now see, in a relation, in a table, there are multiple numbers of candidate keys may be there, Candidate keys means some of the keys which can uniquely identify a record. Okay, uniquely identify a record, and but it is not a primary key. That is, you can say, as the candidate key. That means, see, in a table roll number, it can uniquely identify a record. That can be a primary key. Okay, that can be a primary key, but it is not a primary key. That is the candidate key. Is a set of attributes that uniquely identify tuples in a table. The primary key should be selected from the candidate keys. Every table must have at least a single candidate key. A table can have multiple candidate keys, but only a single key is primary key. So that is the candidate key, which can be a primary key. Okay, which can uniquely identify a record. That is the candidate key. After, properties of candidate key is also given there. It must contain unique values. Candidate key may have multiple attributes, must not contain null values. So all the properties are similar to the primary key, because primary key is selected from the candidate key only. Okay, after, the alternate key is also there. That means, see, if from a relation, from a table, suppose in this table so many keys are there, student ID is also a candidate key. That means it can be a primary key. Roll number is also a candidate key, because it can be a primary key, because these two fields can uniquely identify this record. But the first name should be same for 2 or 3 more students. Okay, so that is why this name cannot be a primary key. It cannot be a candidate key, which can uniquely identify record. That is, can be a primary key or candidate key. Now see, from this table, if we are going to select student ID as primary key, then roll number is the candidate key, alternate key for this table. These two candidate keys are there. If we are going to select one candidate key as primary key, then remaining candidate key is as alternate key. Okay, alternate key is a column or group of column in a table that uniquely identify every row in data table. That table. A table can have multiple choice for a primary key, but only one can be set as the primary key. All the keys which are not primary key are called an alternate key. After that, what is foreign key? So foreign key, already you know that when the primary key of one table is used in another table, then it is known as foreign key. Is a column that creates a relationship between two tables. Okay, when the primary key of one table is used in another table, then the key in other table is known as the foreign key. Okay, so that is the foreign key. So already we have discussed everything in class 11. So if you have any doubt in these topics that we have discussed now, so you can ask me in WhatsApp group, then I will prepare another video for you, that practically I will do everything. Yeah, since we have done in 11, that is why I am just going through the PPT. What is the foreign key? Already we have done. Okay, next, see, structured query language, SQL. Structured query language is the standard database language which is used to create, maintain and retrieve the relational database. Following are some interesting facts about SQL. SQL is case insensitive, but it is a recommended practice to use keywords like select, update, create, etc. in capital letters. Okay, and use user-defined things like table name, column name, etc. in small letters. Okay, we can write comments in SQL using double quotes at the beginning of line. We can write comments in SQL using double quotes. If you are going to write any comment, we have to write inside double quotes. SQL is the programming language for relational database, explained below. Like MySQL is there, Oracle is there, Sybase is there, SQL Server is there, Postgres is there. Other than relational database, also called NoSQL. Databases like MongoDB is there. MongoDB is there. Then DynamoDB, etc. do not use SQL. Although there is an ISO standard for SQL, most of the implementations slightly vary in syntax. Okay, so some syntaxes you will get different. So we may encounter queries that work in SQL Server but do not work in MySQL. So what you are doing in MySQL, the queries may be something different in SQL, so it may not work in SQL. So SQL queries will not work maybe in MySQL. So that means that is the structured query language. Advantages of SQL is high speed is there, and no coding needed, and well-defined standard, probability, interactive language, multiple data view. So these are the advantages of SQL. So you can read through it. So DDL is there and DML is there, data definition language and data manipulation language. The queries what you have used already. So that queries you can divide in these two methods, like see DDL is there, that is the that is the abbreviation of data definition language. It is used to create and modify the structure of database objects in database. Okay, so that if you are going to change the database structure, so for that, like see, create object in a database, create database, create table, you are changing the database structure. Okay, alter is there, alter object of a database, that means you are changing the table structure, that means you are changing the database structure. Truncate is there, to delete all records from a table. So these are the DDL commands. And DML is also there, that is data manipulation language, like select is there, insert is there, update and delete. These are data manipulation. Okay, it is used to retrieve, store, modify, delete, insert and update data in database. Okay, so after that, data type is there. So data type, already we have done some database data types, like integer is there, character is there, varchar is there, date is there. So different data types it has defined like this. See, you can see from this list. Okay, so we have to use only some data types in your syllabus, like integer we have to use, date we have to use, character, varchar we have to use, like that. Some SQL commands also I have given with example. To create database, what to write? Create database, database name. Okay, so I am showing you just like this. See, show databases, to see the list of databases or your database is created or not. Okay, so after that, to delete database, drop database is there, drop database, database name. After that, to create table, table A, and here these are the fields. ID is the field name, that is integer, 5, length of this is 5, name, that is varchar 30, variable character 30 characters length, gender is there, varchar 20 characters length. To see the list of tables or your table is created or not, for that show tables you can write. After that, to see the table structure, describe you can use, DESC, table name you can give. So DESC table A, so it will describe the table structure. So what are the fields are there in the table and types of the table, the types of the field and size also. So like that. So we can use like this. And to drop table, to delete table, we can write drop table, table name. After that, alter table is also there. Alter table is used to change the table structure. For adding new column to an existing table, to delete a column from an existing table, to change the type of to change data type of a column, to change the size of a column, to rename table. For that, we can use this alter table to change the table structure. To how to write the queries, I have given some examples here, so you can see from here. Alter table, table name, add column, column name, add column name, data type you have to write, to add new column. To delete a column, we have to write like this. See, alter table, table name, drop column, column name, so it will delete. Then to change the type of a column, alter table, table name, modify, then there you have to write modify column, column name, data type. So you can practice from here. Rename table is also there. Alter table, rename to new table name. Alter table, table name, rename to new table name. So practically when you will do, everything you will understand. So you have to remember this. After that, update set is there. So update is there. For difference between alter and update, you have to remember clearly, because alter is used to change the table structure and update is used to change the records or values of a table. So if you are going to use update, then you have to write set also. So update table, table name, set, what to set. Suppose you want to set, suppose any student name by mistake you have written there Dipjyoti Datta, but there you have to write Dipjyoti Gogoi. So for that case this update is needed. Okay, so insert is there to insert new record into a table. So already you know how to insert record. Delete is there to delete record from a table. Okay, after select is there to display record. Distinct is there to display distinct records from a table. Like in a classroom, same name students are there, so you are going to display only one distinct value from that class. Then you can use that distinct keyword. So see, select distinct customer, customer gender from customer. So how many genders are there in customer table, then you can find by using this distinct. Okay, so in a table, see, there may be different there may be multiple numbers of males, multiple numbers of females are there, so it will display only one male or one female, so that is distinct. So where clause is there. If you are going to give any condition, then you can use this where. So how to use where, see, in the example I have already shown. So you can see from here, select update employee set name David, where id is equal to this, where id is equal to 1, his employee name we have to change to David. Okay, delete from employee where name is John. So that is the condition then that you can use. Okay, where, how to use where. SQL in operator is also there. By using in, you can do what, see, in operator is almost like having multiple or operators for the same column. Select student percent from student, where student in 12 13. So like this you can use in operator. And not in also you can use. If it is not there in 12 or 13, then you can write like this. Suppose you want to display the name of the student who is from Guwahati only. So Guwahati and Jorhat, suppose. Okay, the place from Guwahati or Jorhat. Then you can write like this, select student name from student, where student in GHY, Jorhat. Then it will display only the students from Guwahati and Jorhat. So like that you can use in. Or if you want to display the student who is not from Guwahati and Jorhat, for that case you can write not in. And between is also there. The SQL between operator is used along with the where clause. So here see, select student percent from student, where student between 2 and 11 and 13. So it will display like this. Like operator is used here. So already you have done in class 11. Like operator is, why it is used? To display a pattern like, see, which is starting from which character and ending with which character. Or suppose the third character is this. For that, suppose you want to display the name whose name is starting with D, only those students name it will display. So here see, select customer name from customer, where customer name like A percentage. That means the first character is A and remaining how many characters you don't know. For that case you have to give this percentage. And suppose select customer name from customer, where name like percentage E. That means before E how many characters you don't know. You know only the last name is E. For that case you can write like this. So the first name is A and last name is T. Middle how many characters are there you don't know. For that case you can write like this. So if you will get this underscore, that means first character you don't know and second character is and remaining how many characters you don't know. For that case you can write like this. So these are the like operator you can use. After that is null, is not null. If you have to check the field is empty or not, for that case is null or is not null you can use. Select student percent from student, where student age is null. Okay, where student age is not there, only those students records it will display, percentage it will display like that. After that, order by is there. Order by keyword is used to display either ascending or descending order. So if you will not write anything, by default it will display in ascending. If you will write descending at last, then it will display the records in descending order. So see, select star from customers, that means all records it will display. Order by country. So country wise country, it will arrange in order, in ascending order, because we have not written descending at last, DSC at last. Okay, so after a group by is also there. If you want to display any records in group wise, for that case group by is used. So see the example directly. Select count customer ID. You are going to count the customer IDs, how many customer IDs are there. Country, and also country you want to display from customers, group by country, group by different country, how many customer IDs are there, it will show. Okay, suppose it will show in India. Suppose first suppose 5 customers are there from India, so it will display what, 5 India. Suppose 10 customers from America, so it will display 10 America, like that. Having is also there. So the having clause was added to SQL because the where keyword could not be used with aggregate functions. Aggregate functions means like sum, count, average. So if you are going to use those functions, then you have to use where. Then you have to use having in place of where. So here see what you are writing: select count customer ID from country, from customers, group by country, having count customer ID greater than 5. So in the previous example, see, select count customer ID. You are counting the customer IDs here. Select count customer ID, country, group by country. It is displaying. But here what you are doing, see, select count customer ID, country from the customer, group by country, having, again one condition you are giving, having count. In case of where, you cannot use this count. Okay. If you are going to use having here, then only you can again count the customer IDs here. Clear? Okay, that is having. And then SQL functions, that is mean, max. So to find the minimum value from a column, to find the maximum value from a column, and the count is there to count the number of values are there in a particular column, to count the to calculate the average, to calculate the sum, we can use these functions. So these are the simple basic functions, so you can see from here and you can practice. So after that, join, one more concept is there in your syllabus now. What about the equijoin is there, and join means you are going to join two tables. Okay, so there equijoin and natural join, it was there in your syllabus. SQL equijoin performs a join against equality or matching columns. Okay, values of the associated tables. And equijoin, an equal sign is used to compare operator in where clause to refer equality. So now see directly the example here. This is one new one table and this is new two table. So here we are going to write the query like this: select star from new one. That means you are going to display all records from here, new one, join new two. So you are going to join this table also on new one ID equal to new two ID. So here new one dot ID, so that means this field, and new two dot ID, this field. By depending on these two field, you are going to join these two table. For that case, it will display the result this. See, in new one these records are there, and in new two these records are there. So on new two 5 is there, 5 B5, and here in this table 5A5. So it is displaying 5A5, 5B5. Again after 1, so 1 is also there in this table here, this one. So it will display 1 dash 1 B1. So 1 dash 1 B1. After a 3 is there, so then 3 is there in this table. So 3A3, 3 dash, 3A3, 3 dash. So like this it is displaying from the tables, it is displaying. So that is equijoin. So after that, that means equijoin will display what, or the matching column values. So if the values are there in this table also and this table also, then only it will display. Okay, 6 is there in this table, but it is not there in this table, not matched. 4 is there in this table, but 4 is not there in this table, then it will not display. See, 4 is not coming, 6 is not coming. Which are there in this table also and this table also, then only that records it will display. That is the equijoin. After that, natural join is there. We have already learned that the equijoin performs a join against equality or matching columns values of the associated tables, and an equal sign is used to comparison operator, the where clause refer the equality. The SQL natural join is the type of equijoin and is structured in such a way that columns with the same name of associated table will appear only. That means see, select star from company, select star from foods, natural join company. That means this food column should be there in select all records you are displaying from food table also, and all records you are displaying from company also. The column should be same. That is the natural join. Thanks. So we have finished this database concepts from your syllabus. We have not finished, something left. See what we have done. So up to this join, up to these joins we have done. After that we have interface of Python with SQL. This is the important topic for you, because from Python you are going to store data in SQL, from SQL you are going to data in Python. So this thing you have to use in your project that you are going to submit in class 12. That is why I have started this unit 3. So in next video I am going to show you the interface of Python with an SQL database. So after that we will start this unit 2 network network concept. I think what is the topic? Network, computer network. Okay, so in next video we are going to start this interface of Python with SQL. Okay, thank you, bye bye.